Last time. I can't believe. Allow me to explain.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Here at the Convocation of the Creatures, all our races have come together to share our cultures and work together. But we have also made a most grave discovery. Myself, Princess Twilight Sparkle, and Glenda, a Griffon archivist, found a treaty from the early days of Equestria, describing a land transfer between ponies and griffons. Long before the princess's rule, ponies received a large section of land from the griffons, in exchange for a large sum of gold, to be paid 100 years later. So far as we can ascertain, that sum was never paid, which means a large section of Equestria rightfully belongs to the griffons.
Unbelievable!
Are you certain?
Outrageous! A diplomatic calamity!
Quiet, every griff! Queen Celestia, is this true?
I'm afraid so, Lord Gestal. It took place before my time, but Raven and Princess Twilight have thoroughly checked the archives. There's no indication that the price was ever paid.
Then the land belongs to us. It should be returned to the griffons immediately.
But there are cities on that land, including Canterlot. There are thousands of ponies living there. What will happen to them?
Well, they'll simply all have to move.
That's impossible!
Quiet! My fellow Griffin Lord speaks out of turn, but he is correct. The land apparently belongs to us, and the debt should be repaid.
Perhaps we could consider a phased transfer. Glenda, who are all these griffons?
Well, Griffonstone is overseen by a council of Griffin Lords. Lord Gestal, in the center, is the head of the council, but all the other Griffin Lords have a say in decisions too, and they don't always get along.
Couldn't we simply pay the original sum, the gold that was promised in the treaty?
Well, that could...
If I may, your lordship, I think we should accept the gold, with full interest from the original amounts.
With interest? But that's centuries of interest. The payment would surely bankrupt the Equestrian treasury. 7 times over, in fact.
Well, then I suppose the land simply must be turned over.
If I couldn't help but notice, Lord Goldstone, if this land is added to Griffonstone, it would greatly increase your personal holdings.
Why, you're right, Lord Gestal. I had no idea.
And what do my fellow lords think of the situation?
If we can't have the gold, then we must have the land.
It's rightfully ours.
Yeah! Then it appears I have no choice but to demand the enforcement of the treaty. Equestria must turn over the land.
I understand, Lord Gestal. I only ask that you give us until tonight to make the announcement.
Of course, Your Highness. To do less would be undiplomatic.
I can't believe this! We're supposed to just turn over half of Equestria? I don't like it either, Twilight, but that is what the treaty specifies.
I'm so sorry, every pony. If I hadn't found that old treaty, then none of this would be happening. There wouldn't be a big diplomatic crisis between Equestria and Griffonstone, and...
No, Glenda, don't say that. None of this is your fault. Equestria should have paid this debt centuries ago. It's our fault we're in this situation. Raven, Twilight, Glenda, I need to prepare my statement about the treaty. In the meantime, I need you three to find something, anything that might help. There's got to be a loophole, something we missed, even if it's just a delaying action. The future of Equestria depends on it. Well, the convocation hasn't turned out as I expected. Actually, if I may say, this seems exactly like one of your usual activities. Princess Celestia has me keep records of your adventures. Occasionally, I've even helped you out, behind the scenes. You have, in small ways. Remember the time you and your friends helped out the Appalachian settlers in the Buffalo? I wrote 9 drafts of the treaty they eventually signed after that incident. I had no idea. I work in the background. I assist the princess. I help arrange things. I make sure things go smoothly. I don't have adventures like you do. My days are filled with paperwork. And usually that paperwork is boring and uneventful. But not this time. Well, if this is your first adventure, then at least you're in good company.
How How'd it go?
Yeah, what's the word?
The word is crisis. If we don't find something new about this treaty, then Equestria as we know it will be practically gone. So, let's get to work, bureaucrats. Horitz, see if there's anything from the Yak records regarding this treaty.
You got it.
Urtica,
Yes!
I need you and Blacktip to go through the dragon records from that time.
Why should I bother helping a bunch of ponies? What has Equestria ever done for the dragons?
Equestria exports 90% of all the gems coming into the Dragonlands.
Well, what are we waiting for? Nothing. No amendments, no addenda, no follow-ups. Not a page that could help.
No luck here either. We've read and reread the treaty a dozen times, and there's no way out of it. There isn't anything helpful in any other race's records. We may have to accept the inevitable, Princess. I can't believe it! I can't believe Equestria is about to be crushed by paperwork. Talk about top 10 anime betrayals. Hey, there are 3 signatures on this treaty. There's one from the ponies, one from the griffons, and one from the yaks? Yes, treaties are sometimes signed by a third party, a nation that can enforce the treaty in case there's a dispute. Oh, okay. So that's why Prince Gruntwig signed.
And 100 years later, Prince Dromius was the leader of the Yaks. So he would have signed a follow-up to the treaty if the price had been paid. But I didn't find anything in the archives under Prince Dromius' reign.
But don't the Yaks use a different calendar system than ponies? So the treaty follow-up would have been during the reign of Prince Krampus, right?
Oh my. Of course, I'm an idiot. I can't believe I missed it. Aha!
It's an addendum to the treaty, saying that the original price was already paid. Huh, I guess it was right where it belonged the whole time.
Equestria is saved.
Hooray! We did it, every creature.
How'd you know about Yak Princes, Urtica?
From the Convocation. I learned it from one of the Yak exhibits here. We all did this, together, by learning about each other's cultures and becoming friends. Nicely summarized, Princess. Thanks to us bureaucrats, and librarian and princess, Equestria is safe for another day. Well, if it isn't my favorite archivists, how goes the research, Lord Goldstone, we found a misfiled scroll, and it proves that Equestria already paid its debt. The ponies won't have to give up their land after all. Why, how wonderful! So Griffinstone won't suddenly expand its territory and riches. How marvelous. I don't suppose I could take a look at that scroll. Why, of course. Actually, Lord Goldstone, we should probably get this document to Princess Celestia and the other Griffin Lords as soon as possible. Why, Princess Twilight, don't you trust me? Well, because you shouldn't. Guards! I'm going to need you to prevent anyone from leaving this room.
Sir?
They're holding a document that must be destroyed in order to secure Griffinstone's future.
But, sir...
What? Are you going to refuse? Tell me they have diplomatic immunity and we shouldn't be interfering in a legitimate political process.
Well, that, and they're already running away.
Then do your damn job!
We need to protect that document! If Goldstone gets his claws on it, he could ruin Equestria!
What do we do?
Get it to Princess Celestia or Lord Gestalt. They'll make sure it gets seen. I mean, maybe, will he?
Yeah, probably, but how are we going to find them?
This crowd is huge. We'll never find the princess or Griffin Lord.
We could split up. We might get caught faster that way.
Hurry! This is business of national import!
Goldstone's right behind us, and he's got lots of soldiers.
We'll never make it out of here. We need a distraction or something.
Excuse me. You're the Yak-Yakistani line dancers, aren't you? Could you do a demonstration?
Of course! Yak always loved dancing!
Over there!
After them!
Okay, they're distracted. Let's run for the exits. Guards! Seize them!
Scatter!
Glenda, here! Catch!
Hey, you were doing the cool flame writing last night. Can you show it off now?
Sure, why not?
Phew. Good.
The fire of friendship lives in our hearts. As long as it burns, we cannot drift apart.
Hang on, Raven!
What? I see Princess Celestia. Over there, through that window.
Got it. Hang on.
Your Majesty.
This is...
An addendum to the original treaty. This diplomatic crisis is resolved. Oh, thank me.
Indeed. I'm glad this can be resolved peacefully. I would not wish to lose Griffonstone's greatest friend. Not for 10 times the land in Equestria. I must especially thank you, Miss Raven, for your efforts.
It was a group effort, Lord Gestalt. My fellow archivists and bureaucrats deserve credit as well. I couldn't have done it without... my friends.
All me.
Lord Gestalt! Urgent news! There are creatures attempting to...
Also, Lord Goldstone attempted to commit treason.
Which is punishable by death.
That is correct.
Or perhaps you're already aware of the situation. I'll send you those records as soon as I get back.
And I'll be sure to write.
You write too, Raven. I want to hear from all my new friends.
Let's all keep in touch.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, Raven, how did you enjoy your first adventure? It was... enlightening. I made some friends, learned about other cultures, and gained a new appreciation for collaboration. And you're already pretty good at summarizing, too. I don't know why I said that, but I think I'll leave the future adventures to you, Princess. I prefer working behind the scenes. I can't blame you, Raven. Paperwork has its charms, too. Paperwork. And this concludes Convocation of the Creatures. Until next time.